The new era of Star Wars has finally hit a groove, with a new film each year, and the marketing swing for each film is pretty regular. We just got teased with a cast photo of the still yet to be titled Han Solo film, and are anticipating the release of some sort of teaser for Episode 8, The Last Jedi. But there is plenty of excitement to be had in the canon right now, so let's dive right on in and discuss the updates to the Star Wars canon timeline, February 2017. February starts off with the release of Marvel's Star Wars issue number 28, Part 3 in Yoda's Secret War. The release of the first issue in the highly anticipated Darth Maul miniseries, which fills in a gap that we've had in monthly Star Wars comics since Han Solo ended. Star Wars Insider number 171 gave us Blade Squadron Jakku, a tie-in to the novel released later in the month. Dr. Aphra, issue number 4, continued the tale of this rogue archaeologist. Poe Dameron, issue number 11, part 4 of the Gathering Storm story arc, and finally the conclusion of the Aftermath trilogy with Aftermath Empire's End. Additionally, this month we saw 2 new episodes in Star Wars Rebels. Legacy of Mandalore, where we see Sabine confront her family and demonstrate her determination to bring Mandalore back together, and Through Imperial Eyes, where Thrawn tries to uncover the identity of Fulcrum. Now let us take a brief look at where each of these stories fits within the Star Wars canon timeline. Prior to Episode 1, we have the release of Star Wars number 28, Part 3 in the story arc Yoda's Secret War. Yoda has faced some challenges in his time, but this one perplexes even him. We also have the release of Darth Maul issue number 1. We get the beginning of the story on how Darth Maul was trained to be the Sith Lord we knew of him in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. The rest of the prequel era is pretty quiet this month, save the 2 new episodes of Star Wars Rebels. Fortunately for us, this won't last for long. After Episode 4, A New Hope, we have the 4th issue in Marvel's Dr. Aphra series. Dr. Aphra and her father may have uncovered something that is very deeply rooted in the way of the Jedi, as they navigate the various challenges that stand in their way of their quest. Between 5 and 6 is quiet as usual. This month was certainly a month for some great post-Return of the Jedi material. First off, we had the release of Aftermath Empire's End, the exciting conclusion to the Aftermath trilogy. Hanging in with this series has finally paid off in this epic conclusion, as many of the interludes come to bear, and give us what we've been curious about all this time, the epic Battle of Jakku, and what was so critically important there. We also have the release of Blade Squadron Jakku, tying into that narrative from Blade Squadron's perspective. Lastly, we got issue number 11 in Poe Dameron, as C-3PO and Poe continue to work towards completing their mission, with both the First Order and Agent Terex on his trail. They also still have to figure out who is feeding information to the First Order. Now to preview what is coming up this month. In March, we get Star Wars number 29, Part 4 in Yoda's Secret War, a junior reader series called Join the Resistance, Dr. Aphra number 5, Poe Dameron number 12, and finally, Darth Maul number 2. Please note that these dates are subject to change. And in case you missed it, we did hear about the release of a new novel by Christie Golden called Inferno Squad, following immediately after the events of Rogue One and A New Hope, with a group of Imperials attempting to rout out the remainder of Saw Gerrera's band. That concludes this update for February 2017, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to keep up with all the insight and analysis found here at Star Wars The Canon Explained. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Leave your comments and questions about this story or any element of the Star Wars canon below. Till next time, may the Force be with you.